Dracula by Bram Stoker. The solicitor, Jonathan Harker, journeys deep into the foreboding Carpathian Mountains. He arrives at the decrepit fortress of Count Dracula, where the ancient master welcomes the traveler inside. The young man soon realizes the terrifying truth. He is not a guest, but a terrified prisoner of the Count's unnatural and horrifying habits. Desperate to escape, Harker explores the castle and discovers his host sleeping, not in a bed, but in a large, unholy wooden box. He is nearly claimed by 3 unsettling female vampires, but the master of the castle intervenes, staking his own claim on the young man. Harker then witnesses the monstrous truth. The Count scales the sheer castle wall like a lizard, confirming he is no mere man. Meanwhile, in England, Harker's fiancée, Mina Murray, visits her friend, Lucy Westenra, in the peaceful coastal town of Whitby. The evil is drawing near. Dracula arrives in England aboard a ship of death, the entire crew having perished mysteriously. Lucy begins to suffer from a terrifying and mysterious illness. She has extreme paleness and 2 tiny, chilling wounds on her throat. Concerned suitors call upon Professor Van Helsing for help, a brilliant expert in bizarre and supernatural maladies. The professor instantly recognizes the vampire's handiwork and begins a desperate defense regimen, using garlic and crucifixes to ward off the evil. The fiend proves too strong. Lucy tragically dies, only to rise again as a monstrous, unholy creature of the night. Van Helsing unites the survivors, including Mina and the escaped Harker, to form a determined crew of light. The heroes hunt the now undead Lucy, forcing her beloved fiancé, Arthur, to perform the heartbreaking, necessary act of staking her. With their resolve hardened, the group begins to track the source of the evil, swearing vengeance upon the Count himself. Mina, using her keen intellect, organizes the scattered notes and journals, assembling a clear timeline of the villain's actions. In a terrifying breach, Dracula invades their defenses and curses Mina by forcing her to drink his corrupted blood. This dark act proves useful. Mina can now sense the vampire's location through their agonizing psychic link. The group learns that the Count has fled London, returning to Transylvania by sea in his final box of native soil. The desperate pursuit begins as the heroes chase the monster across the continent via every possible mode of transport. Van Helsing and Mina travel directly to the Count's abandoned castle, preparing a final, deadly trap for the ancient enemy. The 2 divided parties of the Crew of Light slowly converge in the snowy mountain pass of Borgo Pass. They finally spot a caravan of gypsies transporting the last, final coffin toward the vampire sanctuary. The ultimate chaotic struggle begins to intercept the box before it can grant the Count sanctuary and safety on his own land. Harker and Quincy Morris catch the wagon, engaging in a fierce, chaotic battle against the monstrous gypsies guarding the coffin. The fiend bursts from his box as the sun begins its final descent, his immense power momentarily absolute in the twilight. The final blow is struck, with Harker and Morris moving in for the kill, while the villain is weak in the fading light. Morris plunges his Bowie knife into the Count's heart, while Harker severs his head. The long reign of evil dies in a moment of peace. As the body decomposes into dust, Mina's psychic burden is lifted, and the dark mark on her forehead vanishes forever. Tragically, Quincy Morris is fatally wounded in the fight, sacrificing his life so the others could finally succeed. The Crew of Light returns to England, united in grief but victorious, honoring the memory of their lost friend. The story's core theme is the eternal struggle between ancient evil and the strength of modern, collective human will. Dracula is a terrifying symbol of losing control over your life, your mind, and your feelings. The use of journals and letters emphasizes the power of collective truth and documentation against individual madness and isolation. Van Helsing proves that to defeat primal evil, one must embrace both scientific knowledge and spiritual faith. The novel confirms that true light and hope are found not in isolation, but in the enduring bonds of friendship and love. 7 years later, Jonathan and Mina return to Transylvania, revisiting the peaceful site of the final, decisive battle. They now have a son, whom they proudly name Quincy, to honor the friend who sacrificed everything for them. The tyranny of the Count is over, and the dark shadow he cast on the world is finally lifted by the light of the dawn. Stoker's tale remains a timeless warning about the lure of temptation and the terrible cost of eternal darkness. The power of the story lies in its use of the mundane and familiar to confront the terrifyingly supernatural. The final image is one of eternal peace, bought at the highest price by brave souls united against the darkness. Did you like this story? Let us know. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and be sure to subscribe to Storytime Illustrated so you never miss a classic. Want more epic tales? Click on either video on screen now for your next illustrated story.